What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be here for episode 10 of the Rip City Snowhawks, as we are here week 14, the later stages of the season. 4-8 record. I mean, we're out of it. There's no other way to put it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to finish the regular season. It's pretty much going through the I mean, there is a 2% chance that if we can find a way to win all 4 of these remaining games, and all the teams above us lose the remaining games, we could sneak in the play. But it's not enough for me to really worry. So what we'll do today is we'll hop in that week 16, get our final home game, you know, show the fans off, appreciate them for the first year of the Snowhawks, the first year of this NFL developmental program. But ultimately, we just need to get to the end of the season, and then that's when everything kicks off, where we can, you know, hopefully get through the draft and acquire brand new players. So without further ado, there's no point worth pulling teeth. Let's just get into this game. It's going to be pretty goddamn tough against an 8-3-1 New Orleans Saints squad that's still got Michael Thomas, Cam Jordan, Alvin Kamara amongst. Like, we are just severely disadvantaged. So let's just hopefully we get out injury free. Okay, so hop into this game. Of course, we'd find a way to score a touchdown off the rip. Watch our team be godlike in the sim, and we've just been doing it all wrong. This needs to be a straight sim franchise. So we're going up against probably the 3rd best team in the NFL right now, and we are leading into the 4th quarter. Our team's getting a little bit gassed here. You can't. We took like the number 2 seed in the NFL, and we took them to overtime. So sim or not, very proud of this squad's effort. P.J. Walker, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day, no turnovers, arguably. Well, I mean, it's Ryan Tannehill. It's not that big of an accomplishment. Running the ball, 91 yards for Boston Scott. C.J. Prosise with a touchdown, as is normal. Prosise with the tutties. Scott with the production. 8 catches, 98 yards for Hollywood Higgins. Wilson. All these guys, honestly, this looks like a stat line that we would have. Like, we actually played this game. Prochet, 64 yards and a touchdown. DeMarcus Robinson had a touchdown. 11 tackles for David Reese. 2 TFLs, half sack for Pascal. Literally, it doesn't feel like we weren't not playing this game whatsoever. Ty Summers got his 1 sack that he always gets in the red zone. Blankenship, perfect on his field goals. Hit 1 from 50. So this is literally, you know, we just saved ourselves the agonizing defeat of hanging with a team that good and then just finding a way to lose it in overtime. So, good effort from the squad. For our Week 15 game against the Denver Broncos, the doctors have cleared Sua Cravens. But for the time being, I mean, we definitely want to get him back in the lineup. He was arguably our best defensive player outside of Passignon before he went down with injury. But Khaleke Hudson has been fairly solid, over 80 tackles in relief duty. So until Cravens is 100%, we'll have Hudson continue to be the starter at strong safety. Okay, we got the Denver Broncos. They're actually not that great from a record standpoint. We actually have the same record, I believe. I think we're both 4-9. I know they're actually 4-8-1. So they have one less tie than us. So I'm loving the fact that we're getting out pretty hot here in the sim. 8-point lead in the 4th quarter. We're gonna get a victory. We are playing way better in the sim than we do when I'm actually controlling this team. We found a way to get a victory, which means we can spend our XP. PJ Walker is playing like an absolute god right now. 5 touchdowns to 1 interception in his last 2 games. James Prochet with a touchdown. 2 receiving touchdowns for Boston Scott. He can do it all. Our MVP on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, you got a couple TFLs there. A couple sacks. Kimdichie, Jordan Jenkins. A pick for Dowell. A pick for Watts. Rodrigo, I think that might be his first miss of the year, which is I knew that was coming. He was going to probably shank one when we hopped into the sim. But that's a victory nonetheless before we even get to hop in to the Week 16 game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So now we got the pressure of the fact that 2 games in the sim, Portland has been phenomenal. We need to keep up that level of play when we actually hop in and get to control this team. Getting to upgrade some of the big dogs here. We'll actually take P.J. Walker here. Upgrade is try to get him more of a scheme fit. As I think he's going to be our quarterback next year, at least to open up it. We got Caleb Wilson, the insane production. This guy here just catches anything in his radius. I think he's one of the glitch players. Plays way better than what his rating is. And we give him +3 catching on top of that. Yes, sir. Here we got Patrick. And we get to finish with goggles. Our boy. What does he need? 89. Let's see if we can get him power and get him 90 kick power. That'd be great. Now we're just going to get awareness. +2 awareness. Whatever. He's a 69 overall. Nice. Also have decent amount of coach XP, which I definitely think we should look at spending. With 4,300, we can straight up buy anything. I think it's going to be more beneficial, though, to get the familiar. Let's get offensive line. Let's get defensive backs, because, you know, offensive line is obviously all the positions, guards and tackle and center, and DBs are both corners and safeties. I always recommend purchasing both of those two options. So we're going into this game against, it's a winnable matchup based upon records. 5-9, 4-9-1. What do they got? Do they have anyone different? Anyone outside of what we know they bring? Let's see. They got Trayvon Diggs. They were to draft him out of Alabama. Talvin Smith's back and playing. Okay, you know, it's as expected for the Jacksonville Jaguars, but now we have the added pressure, the fact that this team is way better when we're not actually controlling them. So we got to get a win here. Oh, James Prochet! PJ Walker was getting destroyed by Josh Allen, throwing that as he got hit, able to connect. James Prochet, gain of 29. Okay, good run defense. They're stepping it up a little bit. They know what we're trying to do. 3rd and goal on the 12. We're going to have to go through the air. Who wants it? Oh, we'll throw it up. Demarcus Robinson. Just no play on the ball from Jag corner Trey Herndon as Demarcus Robinson makes it look easy. Oh, get that. You know what. Like clockwork, another 3rd and short. The Jags are moving pretty well between the 20s, but we're getting stingy. Everything outside of that, they try to run it up. They got Kim Dichie and Passanel are there. It's another field. I mean, they're going to get the lead most likely, but, you know, they're not sniffing our end zone. Oh, make that catch. Prochet, 2 taps. 2-tap Prochets, that's what we call him. One of his 48 nicknames. Oh, Wilson. All right, 3rd and goal. We're going to use and cash in our 1 slants play. But I will say keep an eye on just taking off with PJ Walker and running this one in. Or we'll throw it in. James Prochet. The slants cheese works. We, however, cannot call that play for the remainder of the game. 3rd and 6. Kamoko Toure gets his 2nd sack of the game. We're going to have to punt it back. Okay, tell me he's just not the glitchiest player of all time. I mean, maybe if he was the glitchiest player of all time, he would have got the touchdown there and made up for me simming through Leonard Fournette's touchdown. But he's pretty damn close. We'll go no huddle. We're going to hit him with no huddle right at the rip. Nice. Ooh, this game tempted me. Page 1, double slants. Page 2, double slants. Don't you guys know I get made fun of? We'll go running back screen. Boston. Oh, this is probably a terrible play call as well. I mean, a field goal still puts us in the lead. Dump it off Boston Scott. It actually is not a terrible play call. Untouched. He might not get rushing touchdowns, but he does get receiving ones. Oh my God, that guy just ran into his own dude. Big gainer, burn a timeout. I had to do it. I had to do it. Boo me all you want. Had to do it. I can't get shown up by the sim. 3rd and 11 on the 22. Creative play call here. Lots going on. We always, you know, Wilson and Procise usually are our first 2 reads. That's where I'm looking. Oh my God, Wilson. Yeah. Too little, too late. Indecisive, but at least we get, you know, we get to bring out goggles for 1 play left of the regular season in case this is his last one. We're going to make it a good one. For 33 yards, 8 wind. Kick it through the stadium, Betty. Oh, come on. Gunnar Mitchell's done nothing all day. Slim Jimmy, no. Goal line D, baby. These guys, they do not trust Minshew. They're just running the ball for it. I mean, it might work. He's a power back. This is an ideal scenario for him. He's able to bounce back. God damn it, don't choke this one away, team. It's over. Game over. Game over. Come on, get him a... No, Boston Scott does not get the touchdown. It's going to be Rod Johnson. Boss, he literally cannot get a touchdown. There we go. Nice dub. I mean, we might go 3. I said we could have a playoff chance. We got 4-0. We might go 3-1. I mean, we're going to sim the last game out. But now we might have a doubt if we could find out that 8-8 could have snuck into the playoffs. Wild card, being able to run the gauntlet. Who knows what would have happened in that overtime loss, sim loss to the New Orleans Saints. But this game here was just GG easy. The best game of PJ Walker's career by far. He put up 44 points. He had 380 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. I guess we dumbed it down to rookie difficulty today. Running the ball, 159 yards for Boston Scott. Just could not buy that touchdown as he fumbled it through the end zone. Receiving 6 catches, 139 yards for Caleb Wilson, 77 yards on 6 catches and a touchdown for Boston Scott. 2 tutties for DeMarcus Robinson, a tutty for James Prochet as well. Defensively, 10 tackles, Perry Nickerson. We got a couple TFLs there. Our boy Pascal adding another to what's going to be goddamn close to a record. I think he's at 25 TFLs on the year. A couple sacks across the board. No picks. Goggles, 3 for 3. You know, it's a very nice win. Clinical win for the Snowhawks here. Getting some momentum for the offseason. Let's go on the tails of that Week 16 victory. We got an AFC Offensive Player of the Week, PJ Walker. Very nice day. We get to spend some XP before this matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We get a lot of our top players right away. We're going to just not worry about making Boston Scott a power back. You know, that's the first thing we're going to look at. We got David Reese, who's second in the league in tackles right now. Tackle machine. You know, usually that's what happens when your team's not particularly good and you spend a lot of time out there. A lot of snaps, you know. James Prochet up to a 64 overall. Obviously, he's had a really nice season, especially coming on from the preseason All-Star that he was. We're going to continue to kind of get that 1 kick power to get Blankenship up to a 90, which we just did. Beautiful, 90 kick power for our kicking machine goggles. And PJ Walker has another opportunity to go up an overall point, make him a 60 strong arm style quarterback. Not anything to his throw power, which is kind of what we want to up just a little bit. But we're feeling pretty good. So now the thing that's annoying is that we're 6-9, right? We got Sua Cravens coming back from injury. That's dope. He's going to be back in the starting lineup, even though Khaleke Hudson has done a pretty good job. But we're 6-9, and we simmed that game that we lost against the Saints. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm going to come in, we're going to win that game against the Saints, but if we did win that game against the Saints, we'd be 7-8, and technically, if we win, we'd go to, 8-8, and maybe have a chance. If the Chiefs lose at 8-8, maybe that's, they had the tiebreaker either way. That makes sense. They beat us both times. They smacked us both times. So we never would have had a chance to make the playoffs, but we're for a developmental team to be 6-9. Like, we always talk about it. I thought 2 wins, 3 wins max. The fact that we're at 6, even though we do have a sim win, it doesn't really count. That's still pretty goddamn impressive. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to, we'll get through this game. I probably will actually include, I don't know if I'll include the draft or not, but we might include the draft. But first, let's get through the Steelers game. All right, for the final game of the Snowhawks opening season, winnable matchup. Again, can we get 7 wins? Probably not. Looks like the Steelers are controlling us a little bit. 13-zip. We're unable to get on the scoreboard here in the first half. Pretty disappointing considering we have the reigning AFC Offensive Player of the Week, that we're struggling like this. But, at least it's a little bit more accurate of how I expected this team to perform in the sim. PJ Walker, the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows of his season. He's been good, he's been bad, he's been everything in between, and that is very much a disappointing game. 48% completion percentage, no touchdowns, no picks. 45 yards for Boston Scott. Wilson, 5 catches, 44. Defensively, hey, David Reese got a lot of tackles. That's pretty cool. 2 TFLs, Ja'Kai Polite. Half sacks going around. We had a pick for David Reese. So that's pretty good. He deserves that, even though he somehow lost 4 yards on the interception. Goggles made his only field goal of the game. And, we end the season with a deserved defeat. So we're almost, 15 minutes in. We'll just finish up the episode by looking at the season recap, and we'll have a very quick turnaround. I'm going to say probably Wednesday. We'll do the entirety offseason for the Snowhawks. But looking at our team's performance this year, we might as well look at the stats first to see how many of our dudes cracked the Pro Bowl. We came 3rd in the AFC West, which is better than last. Better than I expected. PJ Walker, lasted everything. He didn't start the whole season. If he started the whole year, though, he probably would have been around, 20 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, which is, it's a work in progress. Not a bad year. He had the occasional big game and had the occasional stinker. It's about, where he is as a quarterback right now. But the good news is that we're going to enter next season as he's going to be our starter. That right now, I don't know what the offseason is going to bring, but the intention is PJ Walker is going to be QB1 on the depth chart come the beginning of preseason, because we definitely, from a scouting standpoint, there was no UDFA quarterbacks that even remotely interested us. Boston Scott was sensational, averaging almost 88 yards per game. Did have 4 fumbles, which is kind of annoying, but 1,400 yards is huge. 300 yards, 4 touchdowns for PJ Walker, 7 vultures from Procise, but Procise and Scott work very well as a tandem. From a receiving standpoint, 50 catches, 750 yards and a touchdown for Wilson, and he missed like 4 games? So, I mean, he was really, really good. Hollywood Higgins had 54 catches, 670 and 3, 600 yards, 4 touchdowns for Prochet, 570 and 3 for Robinson, 503 from Boston Scott. So Boston Scott finished with 1,900 yards from scrimmage and 5 total touchdowns, which is huge, and 9 total touchdowns for CJ Procise. From a blocking standpoint, yeah, that's a lot of sacks given up, let's be honest. Defensively, David Reese, big year, man. That's a huge year. 141 total tackles, 10 TFLs, a sack and a half, got that interception. And he actually was Defensive Player of the Week from Week 17. From a sack standpoint, 7 sacks Komdichi, 15 TFLs, 6.5 sacks Jordan Jenkins. He's going to be hitting free agency. He did not want to return. He had a pretty good year. That's something. He'll get signed by someone for sure. 15 TFLs, 6.5 sacks for Nova Spence. And, of course, you can't ignore the production. Tano Passanel, the best run stuffer in the NFL. 80 tackles, 25 tackles for loss, 3 sacks on the year. Stuart Cravens led the team, and he missed 75% of the season. Had 2 interceptions. I'll never forget that against the New York Jets. 36 of 37. So Blankenship, that one kick he missed in the sim game against, I don't think it was New Orleans. So he almost was 100% on the year. Like the best kicking season I've ever seen, and minus that should even, well, it should count, but it shouldn't count. You know what I'm saying? In our hands, Goggles is like the greatest, the goat kicker. He's goated. Good punting season from Johnny Townsend. I mean, he's a punting legend right now on the channel for the Madden 20 cycle. We've used him in almost all of our franchises because he's a beast. I guess we can see where our guys kind of stacked around. We'll look at the yearly awards here. MVP's Patrick Mahomes, of course. He just torched us every time we went up against him. In the AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Patrick Mahomes. Defensive Player of the Year went to Von Miller. David Reese coming at number 9, our first guy to make a short list. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Tua Tagovailoa. Defensive Rookie of the Year, David Reese. He already had a star, Dev. If he could find a way to get an upgrade to a superstar, that would be something. Khaleke Hudson coming at number 5. He wasn't even supposed to play. He just played due to injury to Sua Cravens, and he made the most of it. David Dowell coming in number 9. That's a great play from our safeties. Coming ahead of like the highest drafted safety, Grant Delpitz. That is really good. Quarterback went to Mahomes. Running back, Derrick Henry. Boston Scott getting a little respect. Geez, he almost had 2,000 yards from scrimmage. So let's just barely have him scratch the list here. Wide receiver went to Albert Wilson. Offensive line, oh man, there's no way we have anyone there. Defensive line, Passanel, number 5. Linebacker, Von Miller won that award. What? David Reese can win Defensive Rookie of the Year, but doesn't come up for linebackers. Cool. DB went to Honey Badger. Kicker, obviously. You know this. I didn't even need to click this. You knew who that was going to be. Looking at where our guys stood amongst the NFL. Obviously, way out the mark. Matt Ryan with 40 touchdowns. We don't even look there. Running the ball, though. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. 7th in the league in rushing yards was Boston Scott. Nothing there for receiving. Tackles. David Reese was 2nd in the league, only behind Miles Jack by 6, or tied for 2nd with Deion Jones. For TFLs, tied for first. Wow, look at the company, though. DeMarcus Tank Lawrence, Khalil Mack, J.J. Watt, and then our boy just awkwardly placed there. Tano Passanel, 25 TFLs. It's good, man. I'm proud of this team. Kicking, not even close. Goggles was the best. An absolute kicking machine. So I do feel like we should be able to spend our XP in the offseason. I think that's a time that players can grow and develop. So we'll get Passanel up to a 69 overall. Nice. He's developing nicely. Hopefully he gets a dev trait. Komdichi, I love that 1-2 punch. Komdichi and Passanel at defensive tackles, probably my favorite area of this team because those guys are dominant. You know I like to use my D tackles. Blankenship got 2. We'll go 1 of each. We'll get him up to a 70 overall accuracy. I don't know if that's going to help his rating. He's probably just going to get +6 awareness, God's sakes. But he's up to a 73. I think the best, you know, it's only been one series. 2+2 kick power and 2 accuracy. Yes. Huge. And he got that star def. I think he's the best kicker we've ever had in channel history. So we're going to finish up. Let's just see what the Pro Bowl here. Do we have anyone that made the Pro Bowl from the AFC? Let's see. I think Boston Scott should have made the Pro Bowl, first of all. Wow. Passional is the starter at defensive tackle. And Kimdichie, the 1-2 punch. I knew it. These guys are beast 1-2 punch at defensive tackle. Both these guys high picks. I can't remember what Passional when the Chiefs picked him. Second or third round, either way. Breakout year. Kimdichie, a complete write-off. Got released from the team that drafted him in the Cardinals. Redemption story. Nearly complete. Blankenship is your starting kicker as well. So we had 3 guys and 3 starters in the Pro Bowl. I don't even get that with like my 90 overall rebuild teams. So we're feeling pretty good. We'll just bring us right up to the Super Bowl here. Yearly awards, don't need that. Leave me alone. I'm not gonna lie, I'm AFKing and Grand Theft Auto right now. You know, kind of getting the best of both worlds. So Blankenship, we'll bump him up to a 75 overall with the +1 morale. He gets +2 awareness, +2 kick accuracy. This guy's a phenom. David Reese, we got the force. Yeah, I don't want to auto spend those because it might get him out of his scheme fit, but we'll let the drama build because we're gonna wait to see, did he gain a dev trait from winning Defensive Rookie of the Year? He already was a star. Let's see. I don't. Maybe it's few. It's say about 25% of the time they go up, and he did. We now have a superstar linebacker, David Reese, Defensive Rookie of the Year, from undrafted free agent to second in the league in tackles. And one of the better young linebackers in the National Football League. You can't ask for more than that. We can't scout anybody. So we're going to get right into the offseason where we are going to complete this episode. These are the players that we're actually... we actually have a whole lot of contracts we need to negotiate. I was not prepared because this is all we had to negotiate with. And these are the guys that told us to go pound sand. So let's see what we got here. Patrick Morris. Obviously at center, this guy is kind of creepy. But I like the flavor that he brings. So we'll get him locked up. PJ Walker. I want him to be our starter. He wants a 4-year deal. He wants that job security. We'll give him something like this. A 4-year, $18 million deal. He's happy to continue with the... I like this guy. I'll give him a 1 year if he'll take it. I like the athletic profile of Braden Shelton. Johnny Townsend, outstanding punter. See if we can get him locked in on a 1 year, which we do. Cam Smith, we'll just offer this as is. I wouldn't mind him coming back for linebacking depth. Armani Watts, solid safety depth. 1 year deal. Not a big deal if we don't get him back. Slim Jimmy. How did Jimmy, all these guys going up in dev trades because they're getting all these snaps. We need them. So we'll go Perry Nickerson. He was actually pretty good on the outside. Slim Jimmy, we got to get him back. 2 year deal. We'll give him 2.2, and we'll get this 1.2. 2 years, $6.7 million. We're not messing around. These are guys that I have plans for. Ty Summers, we might actually want to take a guy like him and experiment, potentially put him at defensive end. He got a lot of sacks last season. Caleb Wilson absolutely is a top priority. This guy played like a friggin' monster. So we're actually going to give him a little bit bigger of a signing bonus. We'll go 2 year, $4.7 million. So far, no one has come here and broken our heart. I mean, we could probably actually wait on the fullback there. So Boston Scott's the last one. After having a breakout, this is what I'm a little bit worried about. Well, I'll give him a cool $1 million. 3 year, 10.4, and he resigns. So no drama heading into the offseason, but what the rest of the offseason kind of holds, we have no idea. That will be for the next episode. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the Rip City Snowhawks. We'll be back very quickly with the entirety of the offseason, which will be the draft, which will be free agency, where we really set the stage for year 2 of the Snowhawks. Maybe we can crack the playoffs next year. I don't know. But that does it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching. As always, your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.
Money I'm spending, I'm out and I'm shopping. You talking that shit, well you talking and talking. Look at my options, look at me dropping. Ass in the game, like who are you stopping? Not me, not me, not never. Not me, not me, not never. Not me, not me, not never. I'm way too clever.